I'm now the chair of the Global Forum representing my country. I would like to begin by starting off thanking you all for the opportunity to come here and listen to all these reports back. I'm overwhelmed by all the interesting ideas and recommendations that are put forward by you, and I must say that I already feel very energized by what has been said here today. I've also had the opportunity of being here for several of the events that took place yesterday and today to listen and speak to you. And when I sat here listening to the reports back from the breakouts, there were several thoughts that came to my mind, of course. The first one, though, is that I'm really so very happy to be part of this process that has really blossomed into a genuine global dialogue about migration over the past 6-7 years. The fact that we can be here together today to have this conversation and this week to be here together is a testament, I think, to the commitment of civil society organizations to prioritize, engage, and advocate on migration-related issues, not in opposition to, but as partners with governments over the long term. There are no quick fixes on migration. There are many factors involved, not least the free will of migrants themselves to make choices that they hope will improve their lives and the lives of their loved ones. The challenge that we face are, as a result, the different starting points and perspectives that we all have. I believe that we have learned to respect that, and that it is one of the reasons we have seen progress within the GVC process. So the second thought that struck me was how much our core goals of civil society and those of governments are aligned. And we've heard the word convergence being repeated here in the report. And I would like to spend a few minutes to explain what I mean by that. Let me start by voicing my appreciation for the fact that Civil Society Days have so clearly taken a starting point in the inclusion of migration in the post-2015 development agenda, the work of the Green Room and all the sessions. This is also, as you know, the key priority of the government meeting of the GFMD to come. As has already been so eloquently stated, this is needed in order to promote international partnerships and policies that facilitate safe and orderly and regular migration. It is also a necessary element of our joint goals to reduce the costs and increase the productivity for migrants themselves, as well as countries of origin and countries of destination. You have highlighted the importance of recognizing migrants and diaspora as agents of development, ensuring decent work and avoiding violation of migrants' rights. These issues feature regularly in the government deliberations on migration in the post-2015 development agenda. Other issues that come up time and time again are reducing the costs of recruitment and remittances, allowing migrants access to social security benefits that they have earned even as they move, and ensuring proper recognition of the skills that they bring. Let me go into a little bit more of detail on some of the points that you have highlighted over the last couple of days and in these reports. For example, the work that civil society has done on labor migration with a focus on labor rights, decent work, and safe migration, reflecting points 5, 7, and 8 of your 5-year plan, is very much in line with the focus of the government its own work in the Roundtable Workstream 3 on Inclusive Economic Development. It is a fact that when workers' rights are protected, their skills validated, and the recruitment process is ethically sound, all parties stand to benefit. Your concern about ethical recruitment is mirrored in the government's roundtable discussions on ethical recruitment practices with the private sector. We have worked closely with the IOM and the International Organization of Employers to explore how an informal, non-binding ethical recruitment system, known as IRIS, can help governments and recruitment companies protect workers from abuse. IRIS could also help to reduce the space for unscrupulous recruiters to exploit gaps between countries' legal jurisdictions. The discussions you have had on the need for special protection of migrant children and their families, and guaranteeing access to basic services and human rights protection, points 3, 4, and 5 in your 5-year plan, is an area that is also addressed within the context of the government aid. A choice to focus on the empowerment of migrants by highlighting policies and procedures that promote migrants' access to legal protection, education, healthcare, indicates to me that civil society and governments are concerned about similar issues, namely the special needs of the most vulnerable, including women and children, and how governments can implement policies that don't violate human rights, even in the cases of undocumented migrants. The third theme of migrants' empowerment is very close to our hearts. Speaking from a Swedish perspective, we cannot underestimate the contributions migrants make to our country. From the global perspective, it's imperative to acknowledge members of the diaspora as transnational development actors. They contribute to skills, jobs, and taxes to their host countries, and many of them are also committed to development in countries of origin or heritage. Not only that, of course. As we've heard, members of the diaspora are often entrepreneurs, creating jobs, trade, and other economic opportunities across borders. Closer to home, the work that we have done with the diaspora within the context of our chairmanship of the Global Forum has resulted in the formation of a new Nordic group on migration and development, which was launched earlier today. There is definitely a need to promote different public images of migration. And who better to do this than members of the diaspora through their own empowerment? And they can articulate their views and influence change. We hope that the work we do with governments within the GFMD can pave the way for policies that support and recognize the value of diaspora contribution to development. I'm excited that our priorities are so closely aligned. In fact, the GFMD has participated in national and regional civil society events throughout the year. As John Bingham said yesterday, we have had common space year-round, not only during the week of the GFMD. By working together, we can align our complementary processes and approaches towards the achievement of a common goal. Mobility is a choice, not a necessity. At the same time, I think we must be humble in the face of people's choices to make personal sacrifices for the sake of their families and the benefit and the belief in a better future. We cannot pass judgment on others, but what can we do? But what we can do is to continue to work together in the best way we can to identify policies and practices that do work, that make life better for those who are faced with a choice of whether to go or to stay. In conclusion, That is also why the work we have done together to ensure that migration is included in the post-2015 development agenda is so important. By including migration, we have a chance to implement coherent policies for development that factor in multiple effects of people's mobility into development planning. By acknowledging the reality of migration rather than ignoring it, governments can develop responsive policies that positively impact on people's health, education, and life opportunities. Increasingly, this is understood by governments and the broader international community around the world. It was also recognized by the UN Secretary General when he acknowledged the importance of the GFMD process and called for migration to be included in the post-2015 development agenda at the high-level dialogue in New York last year. This is our joint success and something that we can build on under the Turkish chairmanship of the GFMD. During these 18 months, we have built up momentum together. As 2015 draws closer, now faster than ever, we have to stay focused and work together to advocate for what we believe is right. We have to join forces. Only by standing united on an ambitious, realistic, and balanced approach will we be able to ensure that migration is, in fact, included in the 2015 development agenda. Sweden will remain committed to this process. As we move forward, I draw inspiration from your 5-year, 8-point plan, which remains a concrete roadmap, not only for civil society, but also for governments committed to unlocking the potential of migration for inclusive development. I want to close now by thanking you for these very exciting 2 days and welcome you to the opening of the common space tomorrow. Thank you.